He was the one who actually gave up my name to criminal brothers. They put the bag into my head. They beat me in the car. Then we come to the forest. He cannot be the leader because he's stupid, because he was trapped by this. And I will show you how we should do revenge on these moles, on these rats. He me in front of everybody on the land, on the soil. They bit the shit out of me that I had to restore my bone over here. I still have a scar, that's why I'm kind of like covering it and all that. Sorry, so difficult to remember this thing. I'm so sorry.
Are you okay?
He drove me to another city, to a safe house. Literally after 2 months, Vladimir was killed.
Were you ever in a situation where you thought you were compromised?
Yes, in the end. In the end, where I understood that I was just a bait, that my commander used me just to get rid of Vladimir in any way. Like, it didn't really matter how he would rid of him, like this way, another way, it doesn't matter. I mean, it didn't matter to him. But he was the one who actually gave up my name to criminal brothers, to criminal group. And Vladimir, that time, he didn't know. So he found out this from his criminal brother. When they called, like when he called me, I didn't pick up the phone. Like I told you, like it's, today it reminded me a little bit this PTSD. So the criminal gang were giving this information that I'm the mole from my own commander, from that commander who wanted to exchange Vladimir to his protege. As always, the driver, this sort of security driver guy of Vladimir, would wait for me downstairs to pick me up for a dinner. That was our normal routine. So I would go home, change, do my homework from the university, and then coming downstairs for a dinner, to have like dinner with Vladimir, and then go and sleep with him in his house. As always, I come downstairs, but instead of only one driver, they're like car full of guys who called me sister, and they put the bag into my head. They, beat me like in the car. Then we come to the forest. Before that, when I told you, like they took my bag with the, my bag with Motorola. So I couldn't receive any call. I mean, like I couldn't pick up the phone when Vladimir was calling and everything. So the time they brought me to the forest, this commander protege was the one who orchestrated the whole thing, showing to criminals, look, she is the mole. Vladimir suck because he fell in love into the mole. He cannot be the leader because he's stupid, because he was trapped by this bitch. And I will show you how we should do revenge on these moles, on these rats. They would call these agents who would be undercover rats. Here in English, they call it mole, but in Russia, they call it rats. So she's a rat. And I will show you in front of you guys how we should do a revenge. So first of all, he raped me in front of everybody on the land, on the soil.
God.
And then that was not the worst. So when they were beating me up, so then I had to do some...
How many of them?
About 10 people, because it was like 2 cars. I was in one car, there was another car. They bit the shit out of me that I had to restore my bone over here. I still have a scar, that's why I'm kind of like covering it and all that. Vladimir that time was expecting me for a dinner, as always. They didn't tell him yet. So he was calling me, and then I didn't pick up the phone. So he started to call to the driver. Then this guy who just raped me told him that, oh, she is a rat, she's a mole. So we're fucking killing her right now. Like literally, we are in our spot, which is a forest, who knows where. Then what they do, they basically dig in the hole, put you in the hole, and like finito, and then nobody will ever find you. So Vladimir gave him order to bring me to him and they didn't want to, but Vladimir said, like, I will finish her. Let me, as a leader, let me kill her because this is my responsibility. I need to do it. Eventually they were like, okay, so he wants to finish her. All right, let's do it. So the time they brought me to Vladimir, to his house, I was all bleeding. I was all fucked up. And sorry, so difficult to remember this thing. I'm so sorry.
Are you okay?
Yes, it's just getting back there. It's really hard. Like every single. So I try not to. Sorry, I apologize.
It's okay.
So anyway, Vladimir listened to whole my story. I think he maybe I want to kind of like romanticize him or whatever, but I think that time I think that he understood where I'm coming from, that everything I was doing, I wasn't doing this willingly or because I wanted to, because I had to. So I told him the whole story with the colonel and how I entered the military academy and everything and how I ended up there. So he gave me some also information he knew about his friend, the army friend. And then it's sort of like we had like all these puzzles, we put it together, like all these, little details, we put it into one big picture where we both, that time I didn't know, but we both understood that my commander just wanted to get rid of Vladimir in order to put this, his protege, his like Vladimir's friend, to just like get more money. So Vladimir created this plan, which I followed. So basically that night, so he didn't kill me, obviously. He knew, I think, that he would be killed, but I think and I told him, like, you're risking your life if you're staying here. Why don't you go with me? Because he gave me telephone numbers with all the foreign friends in Turkey and Greece. So that's actually how it, like, these contacts, these people, his former friends helped me to move and actually like relocate myself there. I asked him, why don't you go with me? I don't know, was it love from my side? I don't know, but I asked him, why don't you want to go with me? He said that he cannot leave everything he created. All these people who relied on him, all these people he have been trained and raised. He would take all this, underprivileged, underage kids, build gyms, like workout places where these homeless kids could come and have food and roof under they had. Because as I said, after like this revolution, after 1991, there were so many kids, like homeless kids. And they didn't have family because parents either like would, become druggies or alcoholic or die or whatever would happen. All these kids were like on the streets. So these kids were sort of adopted by Vladimir, and he created all these gyms facilities for them where they can actually live. And after some time, maybe it was his purpose also to raise an army for himself for the future activities of his. Because after when they would grow up till late 18, sort of like 16, they would participate into his gang. Who knows? But at least he didn't let them to die. I don't know. So he said, I cannot leave them like this. I have to do something. I have to find another leader in order to, like, take care about this business, take care about them. And of course, I think he wanted to revenge with this corrupted commander of mine. So that night, he placed me into the car with the driver whom he knew, but he wasn't the criminal. He was his friend from the childhood, from like the school or whatever. He drove me to another city, to a safe house. And then literally after 2 months, Vladimir was killed by his own. I mean, they don't say who and how and all this, just shot. It's actually an article on internet, so people can look online and search and see it. So he been shot, and that's the end of the story. I mean, his story.
Were you sad?
You know what? I lost that time when that night when I realized that my commander set me up because of whatever money, because of the money and power, because of the revenge, because of many things. Because I also said to him no when he wanted to fuck me. You know, it was like male ego, revenge, money, corruption, and all this together. When I realized that, I lost, like hope and belief in any kind of like romanticized feeling of the patriotism, that I sacrifice myself for the country, for people, to save them. And then like my job, myself being used for someone's purposes, for like just gaining money or wherever. And I'm just like a little tool, which is not that important. And you just like can, through like people like that. Because like, as I said, like one of my colleague was killed during this operation, and like nobody would care. I think I lost any belief or hope. I don't know. I just lost it.
Believe or hope in men? Believe or hope in
No,
humanity?
I didn't lose the belief in human beings, of course. There's so many amazing people I met during like these years. As I said, like I don't have any negativity towards men, of course not. But I was raised with very patriotic feelings, like, your grandfather is a hero, your father has all these medals, like your father has such a name, it's it's amazing feeling when you go, and sometimes it's difficult or dangerous missions, but you feel like your job is so important, even though it's hidden for public, but your job is so important because this allow civilians, like normal people, sleep peacefully in the warm baths at night while you are during this night in the freezing cold air, like doing something or like, doing your job. And you like, you know what I'm saying? And even though it's like really hard and you haven't eaten, you haven't slept, you're exhausted physically, but the only one hope which actually keeps you like focused and keeps you like this, like positive, is because you know that
You believe in the mission.
you believe in the mission. You believe that you saving someone's life. It's the only one big belief. And this was betrayed by my own commanders, by my own government. Like, how could I live with that? It's life, I guess.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.